Many backyard pools have already opened, and nearly all the community pools will be opening up this weekend. While the excitement builds, parents need to keep safety, of course, in the forefront of their minds. Jackie Kuchar talked to one family whose son nearly drowned, and now they're speaking out, hoping other parents think twice.
He is in the school. They advised to go to door number 5.
Andrew Lyons spends his afternoons by the scanner and reading firefighter magazines. This 6-year-old hopes to be one when he grows up, just like his dad. He's even got a pager.
You have runs, then it goes off for the fire department.
He also loves hanging out with his family at their VERSAILLES home. It's these very moments Darlene and Tim Lyons really appreciate. They almost lost the little guy 2 summers ago.
He was at the edge of the pool, but he was completely blue and unresponsive.
Retelling the horror catches Darlene's throat every time, and how can it not?
And he was completely blue, completely lifeless when she drug him out of the pool. He was screaming, but barely breathing.
Andrew was learning to swim near the edge, but when adult swim became hectic, he went under.
I tried to convince him, that I was there, but it was still very scary because he was hardly breathing.
Darlene called, it was 4:08, and she said, Andrew's drowning. Being on the fire department, we've landed Careflight lots of times, but you never think it's going to be for your own kid.
Andrew was flown by Careflight here to Dayton Children's. The Lyons followed in a car. They say the longest ride they'll ever have to take.
I saw so much of the Interstate that I never saw was there before. It just seemed like we were standing still. I had to call my family and let them know. It was really hard.
Dayton Children sees dozens of drownings and near drownings each summer.
It's a horrible feeling to feel, but especially since I was there with him, I felt responsible, but it just happened so fast.
Doctors hear that a lot because it doesn't take long for kids to get into trouble.
Be paranoid, supervise your children very carefully around water. My second recommendation is if you have a swimming pool, make it as safe as possible.
Dr. Tom Krzmarzick's talk at gates around the outside that don't connect to the house. Keep toys out of the pool so kids aren't tempted. Install a pool alarm that sounds when the water gets disturbed and cover it when it's not being used. He also recommends teaching your kids to swim as early as the toddler age. And when it comes to the community pools like the one Andrew is in, it's all about never turning your back.
How often do you think about it?
Often.
Andrew loved his doctors and nurses at Children's, and one of the perks?
Press the buttons on the bed.
The Lyons say they're forever indebted to the first responders and the staff at Dayton Children's who saved Andrew's life.
It's hard to feel it in the moment, but I mean, how God had everybody where they needed to be that day.
Andrew remembers that day pretty well, but hasn't stopped swimming.
I like jumping in.
And Mom and Dad are grateful their little boy is growing up with big dreams of perhaps saving others' lives someday. Jackie Kuchar, Fox 45 News.